And welcome back. It's the holidays, so it's time for Dirty Little Showtunes. You know, it doesn't sound like something you do at Christmas, but here we are with Tom Orr, one of the performers and the brain behind Dirty Little Showtunes.
I like to call myself the dirty mind behind Dirty Little Showtunes.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good. Now, what we're going to see, actually opening this week, is a revival of sorts, correct?
Yes, I like to say it's taken me 13 years to become an overnight sensation because I moved to San Francisco in '97 when I was 27 years old. I was a theater critic for the Seattle Times, and they had a policy where I couldn't write or produce or direct or perform as a critic. They just thought it was a conflict of interest.
I kind of get it.
Yeah, but as all the other critics in town were directly involved in theater as directors and playwrights who were willing to put their work on the line and then had an informed opinion. So it was an interesting debate I often had with my boss, Misha Burson, who used to write here for The Guardian.
I remember Misha very well.
She's still there in Seattle. But a friend of mine was doing the show Party, which was in the late 90s. There was a whole string of the nudie plays, the gay plays that had nudity, and regardless of the quality of the play, they always sold out.
I was going to say. What was the one that was here for a while? Naked Boys Dancing? Or?
I was in Naked Boys Singing later.
They were singing,
After I made fun of the nudie shows, I broke down and then discovered the power of being the only naked person on stage in a room full of clothed people. And now our finale in Dirty Little Showtunes makes fun of those gay plays.
But are they naked?
No. Well,
you see, but that would be a selling point.
Well, that's the fun of it, though, because there are straight people and lesbians who enjoy themselves a show tune, but they don't necessarily want to see a naked man.
I got it.
So we come out in bathrobes and kind of tease and dip a little bit, and at the very end, we flash, and I don't want to ruin the surprise.
It's Gypsy Rose Lee.
It is. It's all about burlesque.
Yeah.
There's a whole vaudeville movement coming back again, and that's exactly what Dirty Little Showtunes is. When we started, we went into the space for 8 weeks at the old cable car, which is now long gone. And we had to close because Making Porn, another one of these nudie plays, was coming in, and we had to move. So we went to Theater Rhinoceros, and we ran for 6 weeks. And then their season started with a nudie play, and we went to New Conservatory, and we ran for 14 weeks. And we did great, but we never had a venue where we could just keep it running.
So you really kept your integrity. In an age when people were taking their clothes off on stage, you were putting them on and singing.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, this has become not only a Bay Area sensation, you've taken this show on the road.
This is now 12th times the charm. This will be the 4th San Francisco production. There were 3 in Seattle, 2 in Chicago and Houston each, and then the Minneapolis Fringe Festival a few years ago. That's the most recent one till now.
You know, we've talked about this before. In the age of the internet, when people seem to be finding any excuse not to go into a theater and see real people on a real stage in real time, how do you compete?
We provide the magic of a live audience. That's what you don't get at home, is the alchemy, the chemistry of a live audience interacting with performers and altering the quality of each performance. That the more you laugh at a joke, the actors respond to that laughter and give you a better show, and then makes you laugh harder, and it just keeps going back and forth. And then there are audiences that just sit there like an oil painting.
You probably don't get audiences like that with Dirty Little Showtunes.
Not at Dirty Little Showtunes. The only shows I've ever heard people laugh harder at were Avenue Q and The Producers on Broadway, where people are laughing at every song, at every joke for 2 hours.
Now, you deal with real songs with dirty lyrics, or it's all new? What is the...
I am the king of parody.
Yep.
And I've been called the queer Al Yankovic, and somewhere between Al Parker, the porn star, and Dorothy Parker, the old critic. I take Broadway show tunes and rewrite them, and in a parodic or satirical way, and it's a commentary on the gay community, all things gay, the rainbow keychains, and gay merchandising of those gay symbols, losing the potency of what those symbols mean.
So how political is this show?
It gets pretty political.
Like
we have a whole gay marriage medley, where we talk about what this means. When I was a kid, the option of gay marriage wasn't a possibility, so I never even entertained it. Now it's something that people actually demand as a right, and so we can comment on that.
And you can make fun of it.
Absolutely, yes. And especially when you're using show tunes, it's a common language. I compare it to scripture, that a rabbi can quote you the book of Ruth and the book of Esther, chapter and verse. I can quote you the book of Mame and the book of Dolly and the book of Sweeney Todd, chapter and verse, act 1, scene 2, fourth song, third thing. And people who know that show know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, first book of Sondheim.
Yes, exactly.
Now, there's got to be issues with rights that come up.
First
You never been
God bless
been
the
sued?
Never been sued. Never even had any kind of threats because they understand that parody is protected. That I'm using it as commentary. Usually whatever song I've chosen to rewrite, the very reason I chose that song lends itself to what I'm talking about in the lyric.
Now, over 13 years, you've probably had things that, you know, lyrics and songs that were wildly successful that you thought, wow, I didn't think that was that funny. Conversely, if you had the other, you thought, well, this is really going to knock him dead, and it just laid there.
Sometimes, but the rule we've always had with the show is if it's not funny, it gets cut, and we put something else in.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have this very twisted sense of humor, and if it makes me laugh when I'm writing it, then I'm pretty sure it's good.
So what's the most twisted song you do?
Well, in this production, it'll be Santa is an Elf's Best Friend, which...
Yeah, I think I'm getting that. Yeah. And what's the most poignant song? Or are they all just rock them out
well,
funny?
That's the thing. I like to get people laughing, and then when they're laughing and waiting for the next punchline, thinking they're going to hear something funny, then I twist the knife and say something that they need to hear that's important, and then make them laugh again. Mm-hmm. So we've got Somewhat Over the Rainbow, talks about the gay merchandising. Gay, Gray, and Glorious, instead of Big, Blonde, and Beautiful from Hairspray, which celebrates the aging gay man in an era where, for 30 years, we didn't have older gay men because they were all dead, and now we're back. And what does that mean? And
yeah, did you ever think you'd be an aging gay man? I mean, we've both lived through the AIDS era. I mean, has it sometimes you're like...
I was really proud of myself to survive to 30 without HIV. And then when I was 33, I seroconverted, and I'm 40 now, and I didn't think I was going to live this long. I also lived in New York for a few years and got really caught up in the party scene and had a horrible bout with crystal meth that I've dealt with, and I'm now 5 years Tina-free, quit cold turkey, just decided, you know what, I have too much to offer this world than getting lost in that. And it was this horrible death spiral. It was really, really bad. And it's taken me now, and that's why this production coming back is my revival. Because the show closed before, I never went away, but everyone else's life moved on. And I kind of fell apart a little. I mean, success can spoil an early artist. And my first show was a hit, and I didn't know quite how to do that. I didn't have the support system I needed. Now it's back. I'm back. I'm smarter. I'm older. I've got my life together. And New Conservatory has nurtured me as a solo artist, because since Dirty Little Showtunes closed, I've done 8 solo shows. I Feel a Thong coming on, and Tom Orr in a crass act. And it's
oh boy, don't say that one fast 5 times. Yeah.
But it's like stand-up comedy with song.
Yeah.
It's always a commentary. It's my warped perspective on all things.
And if we want to find your warped perspective online, what's the website?
New Conservative, nctcsf.org. The theater's at the corner of Van Ness and Market, 25 Van Ness.
Great. We'll find you online. We'll find you at Van Ness and Market, and you'll find me on Comcast 104 10%. I'm David Perry. Happy almost holiday season.